but I'd like to call your attention in particular to the cell editor. The cell editor represents the interior of a TD tag for you HTML home gamers in the audience. And the great thing about it is you can type anything in a cell that you want. It can be a little bit of text. It can be an entire book. Put War and Peace in there if you want. It can be text. It can be HTML, ASP.NET tags. It can be JavaScript. It can be just about anything. IronSpeed Designer won't touch that material, but it will save it away in its configuration files and use it to regenerate your page each time it's called upon to do so. So it will faithfully regenerate your cell customizations each time by storing them away and then regenerating them when it regenerates the page. Now you'll notice in the cell editor that there are some tags that have a GEN or GEN prefix. Those are code generation tags that instruct IronSpeed Designer what to generate in terms of a data-bound database control. Now, you can put text or HTML around them, but we do ask that you don't edit those code generation tags themselves. That'll break the code generation process. But they are there for you to manipulate and move around and wrap in HTML and so forth. Now, you can use the cell editor to format display properties within the cell as well. So you'll see that there's a tool or button bar as part of the cell editor. So you can do common things like adjust the font size, colors. You can change the cell or column width, which is important for a lot of application. You can bold, italics, underline, kind of all of the normal things that you would expect to be able to do. Now, one important caveat, if you don't select any of the interior contents in the cell editor, the changes that you make there by clicking on the button bar typically apply to the entire cell. If, however, you select a subset of the cell just using your mouse within the cell editor and then use the toolbar, it will insert the HTML just to wrap the particular part of the selected cell editor contents. So you have a broad array of controls there that can apply either globally for the entire cell or for just a specific portion of the content within the cell. Next, you can modify cell, row, and table styles using the Tag Attributes dialog. You do that, again, through the right-click menu by selecting Styles and then Cell, Row, or Table. What this allows you to do is to override or, in fact, change the class that's applied to the cell, row, or table. And this is very useful in some contexts where you need a little broader control than you can get just through the cell editor. Now, if you need application-wide control and you need to modify, say, the class or style behavior for all types of similar cells, you do that through the cascading style sheet, which we'll talk about in just a little bit. Now let's go use the cell editor to modify our application. So here we are back at our application. And what I'm going to do now is show you a few different ways to modify our record control. So I'm going to go back to design mode. I'm going to go back to my page. I'm going to zoom back in now to my record control. And there we are. Okay, I've zoomed back in, again, my 4-column by 6-row. So I'm going to use the cell editor now to do a few simple things like bold facing, just to illustrate how this all works. So I'll start, for example, just by selecting the company name cell up here. It has one field in it, very simple, and I'm going to boldface that by clicking B for bold. Okay? And as you can see down here, it's changed from just a simple class definition, DFV, to adding the style attribute, font weight bold. And in fact, I can make it a different color if I want. I can set the font color, so if I happen to like, say, red, I can pick that. And you'll notice that it's added that now to the style attribute. So that's how that works. Okay. I can also adjust the alignment. I can put borders around it and so forth. I can even make it kind of big or in a different font. So if I wanted this, say, to be 16 font, I can do that, so it'll be kind of big and bold. Now, let's move to the next cell here, and we'll do something a little bit differently. Okay, I'm going to right-click here. I'm going to select Styles, and I'll select Cell. Now, I could also select Row and Table if I wanted a broader context for my style overrides. I'll select Cell, and I'm going to override, in this case, the class definition, DFV. And I'll do that just by typing the style attribute here. And I'll type font, weight, colon, bold, and semicolon. The semicolon, by the way, is an important attribute to the HTML style declaration, so make sure that you put that in. And now I'm just going to click OK. And you'll notice that it's reproduced it down here as well, so you can see it there. So that's just a different way of doing what I can do in the cell editor. Now, why would you want to do it one way or the other? Well, in the first case, I can actually come down here and I can type some text in here. And if I wanted to make this different, for example, if I wanted this to appear as underlined, I could just click that and the style would appear only for what I had selected. That's the fine-grained control you get with the cell editor. You get more broad control using the tag attributes dialog via the styles right-click menu. Okay, let's go back now to live preview and just quickly regenerate our page. That's what the yellow bar illustrates. And now it's going to recompile the page with the .NET Framework compiler. Okay, so here you have it. As you can see, I've modified the font there quite a bit. I modified just a small portion of the text, and that's why that's italics, and this part is not. And then we use the styles tag attribute dialog to modify this. So several different ways to customize within a cell.